Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. Have you been feeling the shift around this 8-8 portal, the so-called Lionsgate portal? Because this is one of the most energetically potent and powerful days of the year. And I know that many of you, especially those of you who are hypersensitive to energy, may have actually been feeling this building for the last couple days now. So let me know in the comments if you have anything to share about your personal experience around the Lionsgate, around this 8-8 portal. I'm not sure whether it's going to come up in today's reading. In fact, I really don't have much of an insight yet as to what we are going to be talking about in this reading. You guys know that sometimes I journal through insights in advance when I'm meditating, and other times I like to just leave things open-ended. And this feels like one of those more open-ended readings. So if you hear me moving things around in the background, I am just setting up my crystals. I have 7 different crystals to resonate with each of the 7 chakra centers in the energy body. So I like to connect messages and cards with these different energy centers to give us clearer insights. Now, there are a few things I'm picking up right away as I'm starting to tap into the energy. And one is around the sensation of a fog lifting. And I'm seeing a lot of this around the third eye chakra. So if this is for you, which by the way, I always say at the beginning of these readings, I do channel many different people, situations, circumstances, and threads of energy. So only take the messages that really resonate with you and that feel aligned with your own intuition. I always say your intuition really is the compass of your life experience. But anyway, I feel like there is this massive sense of the fog lifting and things becoming very clear that felt unclear for a while. I'm hearing specifically this clarity may be coming in for you around how certain people, things, energies, and environments in your life may have been affecting you subconsciously, but very viscerally. So I'm getting that there have been certain things impacting you that it's almost like you were trying to shove under the rug. And I'm hearing you were trying to keep the peace with whatever these things or people were, but you were betraying yourself in the process. You were telling yourself that you were acting maybe from a place of trying to not create conflict, but in actuality, you were putting yourself in some kind of internal conflict or internal dissonance that was affecting you. And I'm hearing, where or when in your life did you learn the programming that somehow you are responsible for other people's emotions, other people's reactions to you? I'm actually getting that you may have had certain people who were almost processing, regulating, or stabilizing their energy, their emotions through you at a subconscious level. So these may have been situations that you weren't even consciously realizing were draining you. You just found yourself feeling spread thin, feeling tired, feeling drained, feeling unsupported, even maybe tense at times, and not really knowing why. And I feel it's becoming very clear to you that it's because there are these certain dynamics, things, environments, situations in your life where you've been subtly betraying yourself by trying to keep the peace and not accepting that relationships, connections, friendships, collaborations, work environments, everything must be two-sided. Who taught you that it was your responsibility to carry the weight for everyone involved? And I'm just hearing like it's safe to put that down now. It's safe to let yourself receive, because the major thing I'm getting here is these situations were actually blocking your receptive energy, especially if you are a divine feminine listening here, which I know many of you are, although shout out to our divine masculines, because I know that we have many divine masculines who are listening here, and I am so grateful for all of you here as well. But if you are a divine feminine, I feel as though you've been especially noticing this with potentially certain masculine energies in your life. And I'm hearing you are meant to be the beacon, you are meant to be the lighthouse, not the stabilizer. And this heavily reminisces of an Instagram post, a text post on Instagram I created a couple days ago about how your role is shifting as a light worker and you are no longer the bridge. You are the beacon. You are stabilizing yourself in a particular frequency and calling people up to that level. And another message that was coming through so strongly around all of this is that when you have strong, clear boundaries, you become very magnetic. And I was actually hearing the stronger the boundaries, the more magnetic you become because there is this clarity about your energy. So there may be certain people or things in your life that for a while you weren't setting self-supportive boundaries with because you told yourself that you wanted to avoid conflict or keep the peace, but you were betraying some part of your own truth in the process or your own self. You weren't fully respecting yourself by not setting those self-supportive boundaries or not speaking some kind of truth in order to keep the peace with this other person or in this situation. But I'm getting that this is shifting, and this is that clarity that we've talked about coming in. I get that it's almost like you just wake up and you're done with those kinds of dynamics where you were diluting yourself or where you were compromising on yourself to be seen or to be understood or connected with in a certain way. And the word apathy kept coming through because what I've been getting is that you've been feeling this divine apathy, and it might come in very suddenly, where suddenly you are no longer interested in attempting to translate your soul to someone who is never hearing it anyway. You are no longer interested in holding back or repressing your truth to appease other people, forces, or things in your life. And that is rendering you incredibly powerful, but also incredibly magnetic at this time. And what I keep getting so strongly is that this is actually opening up your receptive energy and making you a match for exactly what you've been wanting, exactly what you've actually been trying to manifest. It's almost like you were trying to manifest something, but your energy wasn't clear or it was being diluted because of these people, things, or situations that you were kind of in this mode of appeasing or compromising with in some way. So this shift within you has felt like such a huge breakthrough. And if this is for you, I feel that there is a message here to allow yourself to take a moment to celebrate the fact that you've had this breakthrough and to understand that not everything has to be figured out at once. Not everything has to be unraveled at once, so to speak, because I feel you're already taking major steps in this direction. And I'm hearing daily consistent steps lead to powerful cumulative results over time when you maintain that consistency, when you are consistent with them. And I just see you doing things that are so self-respecting and self-supporting, taking those steps in those kinds of directions at this time. And again, this is powerfully amplifying your magnetism. It's making you very attractive to the exact things that you've been wanting for such a long time. It's almost like there was this wall between you and the things you desired, and it was the way that you were allowing people or things to kind of infringe on your energy or to drain your energy or infringe on your kind of space in a way that was detrimental to you, but that you were allowing in the past to keep some kind of status quo or to keep the peace in those situations. And I just see someone like putting their foot down. It's like they're just done with those dynamics. That word done is coming through very strongly here. I also have been getting a message about how your truth is very illuminating. I'm hearing speak your truth and people will reveal themselves to you. People will illuminate themselves to you, so to speak. So if you're not sure how you are connecting with someone or what your dynamic is like with someone, all you have to do is simply show up boldly and authentically, speak your truth to them, tell them genuinely what you've been thinking or feeling or the boundary that you need to set or whatever it is that you need to do in that situation, which of course I'm speaking about following your intuition because you know intuitively when it's time to speak up, to share your truth, to set a boundary with someone. So I'm speaking to those of you who have been feeling that urge from your own intuition for quite some time now. But what I'm getting so strongly is once you do that, the other person or that situation will reveal its own truth to you. I'm hearing it's like a mirror of your truth. So when you share the energy of truth with others, it's like truth serum for them where they can't help but tell you the truth as well. Reveal maybe their intentions or their character or something about them or that dynamic that I'm hearing. It's almost like you were suspecting that there was a subtle dynamic or like a power dynamic or a dynamic of control or entanglement beneath the surface, but you weren't entirely sure. And you almost felt like you were going crazy for feeling that dynamic. But I'm hearing sharing your truth will illuminate it to you. It will let you know whether that kind of dynamic is there, because if you share your truth, if you share yourself fully and someone reacts negatively to it or reacts against it, very often that means that you were correct about something off that you were sensing about that person or about that situation. I'm just hearing truth illuminates all things. And that seems to be a message that's coming in really strongly around this 8/8 portal. I really feel the energy of a quantum leap taking place here, where it's almost like you've downloaded this brand new identity of yourself and just stepped into it so seamlessly and so instantaneously that people around you may be surprised. And I'm getting some people may even interpret this new version of you as cold or harsh because of how strong you are, because of how clear you are about what you want and about your needs and about your boundaries. But this isn't harshness, this is clarity. So I know a lot's been coming through right away. I saw a rabbit, so that might be significant to someone in some way. And just give me a moment here because I am going to be pulling up the love word scramble. But by the way, something else coming through very strongly is you don't have to do this alone. You can let yourself be supported. And I feel that what I'm getting around this is you may have been guided recently to open yourself up to being supported in a new way. I'm hearing support doesn't make you weak. It means you've grown to a level of strength where your energy is ready to break through previous barriers in order to hold more space to attract in the exact things you've been desiring. And when you allow yourself to be supported, when you allow people and things and support into your life that helps you break through those internal barriers, that's not a weakness. That's you recognizing that you're ready for more, that you're ready to no longer be held back anymore by your previous limiting belief systems or internal fears or restrictions or the sense of your own limitations, which is entirely artificial. But I'm just getting that someone might be seeking some kind of support from a friend, a counselor, a therapist, maybe a life coach or a business coach or someone in your life. I feel like you are maybe even being sent someone in your life that you are going to feel guided to lean on in some kind of way. And it might feel uncomfortable at first because I'm hearing you are used to being the supporter, not the one who is being supported. And so there's a message coming through about how it's time for the supporter to be supported in his or her mission, because you do have this huge mission and purpose in this world. And that requires you to be reinforced, not in this codependent manner, but in a way where you are being supported equally from the people, things, and environments around you in the same way that you are supporting them in return, if that makes sense. So yeah, here we have the High Priestess, and I just feel that you are really in your High Priestess energy right now, and you aren't afraid to speak your truth. The energy around you is so clear. And again, I just keep getting this clear window of sight through your third eye. Like your third eye has had the fog lifted and you are now seeing so clearly, but also so intuitively as well. There's something else with this High Priestess energy though. I feel that there's a lot coming to light that was subconscious. This could be coming to light within you where you are suddenly realizing, wait a second, this dynamic is draining me and I didn't even realize it, or this person has been maybe taking from me emotionally or energetically, even if they're not necessarily intending to, and I need to set some kind of self-supportive boundary here. Or maybe you're just realizing I'm done hiding this part of myself or diluting this part of myself. I'm ready to show up as more of me, as all of me, because I deserve to live that openly and that authentically. But I'm getting with the 9 of Wands that it's like you are really standing your ground on this as well. You may be met with backlash or people kind of projecting onto you, reacting against you, as I'm hearing they're intimidated by your clarity because you seem to be moving with so much clarity. And the interesting thing is, some of these people, it's ironic when you speak to them with clarity, they may actually tell you that you're being confusing or that they're confused or they need you to explain even when you're being very clear. And what I'm getting in those dynamics is if you've been clear with someone and they're saying that you're being confusing, they may be reacting more so to your boundary, disliking your boundary, or wanting to influence you to change your mind than reacting to what you're actually saying. Because I'm hearing people do seem to be understanding you clearly. It's just that some people are so shocked by how suddenly clear you are. And that's the interesting thing about this shift. Something about it feels like this sudden awakening, like this instant identity shift where you are just no longer willing to tolerate less than you deserve. And people around you are surprised by how your identity, the way you communicate yourself so clearly, so confidently, just seems to snap into place. It seems to shift so suddenly. I'm hearing they were used to your softness, but they underestimated your strength. And that's what I feel from many people around you. With the Judgment card as well, there's something about like a lot of dynamics that were kind of allowed to continue for a while. You may have even felt intuitively guided to kind of keep a space open for them. But the thing is, I feel the door is fully being shut on any lukewarm or half-hearted connections, people, things, opportunities in your life. I'm hearing if it's not a full yes, it's a no. And I'm getting that if anyone has seemed kind of unsure or half-hearted towards you, it's almost like now they're no longer being given the option to just not choose, to kind of sit on the fence of your life. So these individuals are actually having the door kind of shut on them, so to speak, when it comes to connecting with you. But the beautiful thing about this is it's such a benefit to you because as the door is being shut on these half-hearted connections and situations, all of that power, all of that energy you were kind of subtly draining through those open doors is now returning back to you. And I feel like this is an energetic return that is going to lead to massive growth and success in your life, whatever that looks like for you personally, because you're going to be able to pour all of that energy and focus back into yourself. So I feel like you are just having this wake-up call within yourself. Yeah, about how people and things have been affecting you that maybe you were ignoring or didn't want to see to keep the peace, as we were saying. And yeah, it's like some of these other energies, they've been trying to kind of hold on to you without doing the inner work themselves. With the Four of Pentacles, it's like they had some kind of like psychic or energetic hold over you. Not that it was necessarily malicious or intentional, but it's like you could kind of intuitively feel the way that they were pulling on you energetically, the way that they were affecting you psychically. And you finally reach this point where you're ready to fully cut cords with connections that aren't meeting you where you are. And that is opening you up to beautiful new opportunities. With the Wheel of Fortune card, I feel like this is dramatically, I'm hearing it's lifting the haze from your aura, from your energy, allowing your whole energetic field to be a lot clearer. And as a result of that, you are going to be attracting in moments of powerful alignment, opportunity, success that others around you may be shocked by, that people may even refer to as luck. But it's like, because you're closing the door to these timelines of control and restriction and people draining your energy, and you're calling all of that back to yourself, you are just becoming super magnetic for all the things that you've been desiring here. Yeah, I feel as though with the King of Wands and the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Cups reversed, I feel like there's the energy of someone. This could be multiple people. This could be one person, could be some kind of energy. There's someone here who seems to be feeling like powerless or trapped. I'm getting the word victim, like they may kind of be stuck in this perpetual state of victimhood. I'm hearing always blaming things on other people. That may be how this person operates. There could be Gemini, Pisces, or Scorpio energy involved here. But with the King of Wands, the thing is, I feel like this person has also been very focused on you, very drawn to you. And I almost get it's like they've been projecting all their like dreams, hopes, and wishes onto you. I mean, for some of you, maybe this happened with a parent growing up. For others of you, this could be a romantic person who has been pursuing you or who wanted to be with you because it's like you represented the fulfillment of all of their own broken dreams. And I'm hearing it was a weight on your shoulders. I don't know how this is connecting, but I feel something about this became very heavy for you because this person was not finding themselves internally or fulfilling their own self. I'm hearing they didn't even really maybe have a strong concept of themselves, but they were projecting everything, all of their dreams, their hopes, their wishes, everything somehow onto you. And I feel that I'm hearing people are constantly looking to you and you're constantly trying to point them back to themselves. Interesting. So I feel that this is like that phase shift on your spiritual journey where you've been really patient with these people and energies. And many of these people, I feel they've tried to look to you as their regulator, their stabilizer, their supporter, their bridge. And you've tried to gently point them back to themselves, lead them back to themselves. But I'm hearing the time's up on many of these situations where it's really time for you to pour all of your time and your energy back into yourself. And the way you will know if that message is for you is you've been feeling apathy towards these other people and situations you used to give to in this way. That will be your sign that this is for you. Your intuition has been telling you for a little while now because you've been feeling apathetic. You've no longer had a desire to give in the same way to these people, to these situations. And they may have been thinking that you were distancing, you were going cold, you were pulling away. But really, it's that you've sensed this shift taking place within yourself. And I feel like there's something really, really powerful happening within you and happening within your life. It's not just about these situations you're setting boundaries with and getting very clear about and almost like unraveling. I'm hearing layer by layer, unraveling these within yourself. There's something else going on here as well about what you're attracting in, because as I said earlier, this is also about you stepping back into that receptive mode, amplifying your own natural magnetism by like removing the blockages that were clouding that natural magnetism. So let me go ahead and reshuffle the cards. I feel that for some of you, for a while, you may have stayed in these situations because you told yourself I'm hearing, I told myself it didn't hurt that bad, or I could handle the pain, or I could handle the burden, or it wasn't really that heavy. But I'm getting that just because you can carry it doesn't mean you have to, or that you should. Just because you can handle, it's almost like you or this other person saw it as some kind of test, or it's like maybe you thought like, if I can handle a lot of pain or a lot of rejection or a lot of distance or lack of having my needs met in this relationship or this friendship or this connection or this workplace, then somehow I am proving something, like I'm proving how strong I am, or I'm proving how much I love this person or this thing because of my ability to handle pain, or because of my ability to hold this weight on my shoulders. But I'm hearing it's like, instead of trying to pass this kind of imagined test, you've taken yourself out of the game here. You're no longer trying to prove anything or to carry anything just to prove your own strength. And it's strange because I feel that when a lot of what you were carrying was for other people, again, like those kind of entanglements are coming to light where people are reacting against it because they're upset that you are no longer willing to, again, kind of like submit yourself to these imagined tests where, and again, not that it's necessarily malicious. They may not be doing it intentionally. In fact, I feel most of them are not doing it intentionally, but it's almost like they're putting you through a lot and then almost praising you for handling so much. But what if you don't have to carry so much? What if your environments and your connections in your community can support you rather than requiring you to prove yourself? And that is exactly what you're aligning with this Four of Wands, those harmonious timelines. I'm hearing these are the timelines you were built for, and they were built for you. The words effortless and ease are coming up here. So I feel that I'm hearing once you release the burden or the need to carry the burden to prove something or to prove yourself to someone, the effortless timelines align themselves naturally in front of you because they have been there and available for you all along. They've just been, it's almost like you've been blocked from fully accessing them because you've been carrying so much energetic weight that isn't yours. That's a powerful message that just came through in a download, because what I'm getting really strongly is that your energy is actually really light and really high vibrational. That is your natural core baseline frequency. And I'm hearing you've worked for that. You've peeled back the layers. You've healed yourself. You've gone deep into the shadow to retrieve all of this like beautiful light energy. And so naturally you vibrate at a really high level and align with really beautiful, fulfilling, abundant, successful, high vibrational timelines. But I feel that you were almost taking on energetic or vibrational weight through some of these entanglements or connections artificially. And it was actually artificially affecting your own vibration and, again, preventing you from being as magnetic for what you desired, maybe causing you with the Eight of Wands reverse to feel like things were moving slowly, or like things felt chaotic, or like you were kind of weighed down in a way. And again, this was because you were taking on energies that weren't even yours. And around this Lionsgate portal, those energies you were taking on are either illuminating themselves, or you are somehow setting boundaries or speaking your truth. I'm hearing your words are like magic spells in a way. Like I'm seeing someone speaking a spell and they have a magic wand, and then something that was invisible reveals itself. And for some reason, I'm getting that there's certain things you're saying, again, ways you are speaking or communicating your truth that are bringing the invisible into the visible realm, that are making conscious something or a dynamic or an intention that was unconscious and unconsciously affecting you for a really long time. This is returning you back to your seat of power. And I'm hearing the way you can know this is for you is you're going to feel a lightness as you intuitively take action based on these realizations you're having, based on realizing, wait a second, I'm seeing this truth now. I feel like I need to speak my truth or set a boundary or say this to this person. you will know that you've been on the right track when afterwards, regardless of how that person reacts or responds, you actually feel lighter energetically. You feel this sense of peace. You feel this sense of relief. I'm hearing you may even sleep more deeply after that exchange. Again, regardless of how the other person reacts. I'm hearing the word relax. Maybe you'll feel more relaxed afterwards because you are literally cutting cords just by speaking your truth with something that was artificially affecting your energy. So I'm going to continue this in the extended version of the reading. You can listen to the extended either on Patreon or on YouTube memberships. So I will leave a link to listen to the extended underneath this video in the pinned comment and description box. Of course, if this connected for you, I would love to hear from you in the comments. I always love this beautiful, high vibrational community we create here on YouTube. So thank you for being part of that. As I mentioned earlier, I've been posting a lot of downloads and text posts lately on Instagram. So for more real-time downloads and messages, be sure to follow my Instagram at Magnetize Yourself. And of course, if I connect for you in this video and you aren't yet subscribed, feel free to subscribe here on YouTube. Join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. Otherwise, I am going to close things out here. Have a beautiful remainder of your day, and I will connect with you here again in the next reading.